In case you would like to learn how to chant, we could do even that. We could. It's not a very difficult thing. You can just schedule. I mean, I could even give you a voice clip and you can learn how to chant. It's very easy. It's a very good thing if you can all chant together. So anybody who would like to chant can indicate in the chat box. The administrator will show your mic open, chant. Especially these sections, and then the Gita section if you can chant. And towards the end when we do the Shanti part, that also you can chant. You can even start it from another date. It's not a big deal. Because when we all chant together, it adds a certain divinity to the whole thing. And one more thing, if, especially when you are chanting, I would like to have your cameras on because I would like to see you chant. Because then the lip movement will tell me where the uchchar and the enunciation is going right or wrong. Okay. So Mangalam would like to chant. So if you want, we can ask her to be unmuted. We can start chanting. We'll do Dakshinamurti Stotram. Om Vishwam Darpana Drishyamana Nagari Thupiyam Nijantargatam Pashyannatmani Mayaya Bahirivo Bhutan Yatha Nidraya Yas Sakshat Kurute Prabodha Savaye Swatmanameva Dvayam Tasmai Shri Guru Murtaye Vaidam Shri Dakshina Murtaye Bijasyam Tarivam Guru Jagadidam Parang Nirvikalpam Punaha Maya Kalpita Deshakala Karna Aichitra Chitrigritam Maya Viva Vichrimbayat Yapibaha Yogi Vayasvechaya Tasmai Shri Guru Murtaye Namaidam Shri Dakshina Murtaye Yasyaiva Sfuranam Sadatmakam Asatkalpartakam Bhasate Sakshat Tattvamasiti Veda Vachasa Yogodhayadyashrita Yas Sakshat Karnat Bhavenna Punaravrittirvavambo Nidhau Tasmai Shri Guru Murtaye Namaidam Shri Dakshina Murtaye Nana Chitra Katodara Stita Mahadeepa Prabha Bhaswaram Jnanam Yasya Tu Chakshuradi Karnadvara Bahispandate Jhanami Tameva Bhantam Anubhat Yetat Samastam Jagate Tasmai Shri Guru Murtaye Namaidam Shri Dakshina Murtaye Heham Pranam Apindriyanyapi Chalan Buddhim Cha Shunyam Viduhu Sri Balandha Jadopamasthamiti Bhranta Vrishambadina Maya Shakti Vilasa Kalpita Mahavyamoha Samharine Tasmai Shri Guru Murtaye Namaidam Shri Dakshina Murtaye Rahu Grasta Divakarendu Sadrisho Maya Samachhadanat Sanmatra Karanopasamharnato Yodhotshushastaf Puman Ragaswab Samiti Prabodha Samaye Yaf Pratyabhikyayate Tasmai Shri Guru Murtaye Namaidam Shri Dakshina Murtaye Balyadishvapi Jagridadishu Tatha Sarvasvavasthasvapi Vyavrittasvanuvartamanam Nityantasfurantam Sada Swatmanam Prakati Karoti Bhajatam Yo Mudraya Bhadraya Tasmai Shri Guru Murtaye Namaidam Shri Dakshina Murtaye Vishwam Pashyati Karya Karnataya Swaswami Sambandataha Shishyacharya Tathaida Triputradhyatmana Vedataha Swapne Jagrati Vayayesha Purusho Maya Paribdhamitaha Tasmai Shri Guru Murtaye Namaidam Shri Dakshina Murtaye Puram Bhansya Nano Nilom Param Aharnatho Himan Shufkuman Vidyabhati Characharat Kabidam Yasyaiva Murtyashtakam Nanyat Kinchana Vidyate Vimrshatam यस्मात् परस्मात् विभोः तस्मै श्री गुरुमूर्तये नमः श्री दक्षिणामूर्तये सर्वात्मत्वमिति स्फुटीकृतमिदं यस्मादमुष्मिंस्तवे तेनास्य श्रवणात् तदर्थमननात् ध्यानाच्च संकीर्तनात् सर्वात्मत्वमहाविभूतिसहितं स्यादीश्वरत्वं स्वतः सिद्ध्ये तत्पुनरष्टधा परिणतं च ऐश्वर्यमव्याहतम् इति दक्षिणामूर्ति स्तोत्रम. We will do the Gita Dhyanam. Dakshinamurti Stotram has enunciation issues and Sandhi issues, which we should be careful. We can schedule a separate session where I can teach you how to chant Dakshinamurti. And not just Dakshinamurti Stotram, other stotras as well. In the group, I will take your views and then schedule. Now let's go. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Gratitam Puranam Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamrita Varshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Ambatva Manusandadhami Bhagavad Gite Bhavadveshinim Namostute Vyasa Vishala Buddhe Pullaravindaayata Patra Netra Enatvaya Bharata Taila Purnaha Prajvalito Jnanamaya Pradipaha Prapanna Parijataya Dotra Vetraikapanaye Jnanamudraya Krishnaya Gita Mutaduhe Namaha Sarvopanishado Bhavaha Gopta Gopalanandanaha Partho Vatsa Sudhir Bhokta Duktam Gitamritam Mahate Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsachanura Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadguru Bhishma Drona Tata Jayadrata Jala Gandhara Nilotpala Shalyagrahavati Kripena Vahani Karnena Velakula Ashwathama Vikarna Ghora Makara Yodara Vartirim Sotirna Khalu Pandavairanavi Kaivartakat Keshavaha Parasharya Vachasaroja Mamalam Gitartha Gandodkatam Nanakyanaka Kesaram Harikata Sambodhana Bodhitam Loke Sajjana Shakpatairaharaha Vepiyamanam Muda Uyat Bharata Pankajam Kalimala Pratvam Shreyase Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yatkripa Tamaham Bante Paramananda Madhavam Yam Brahma Varunendra Rutra Marutaha Stundhanti Divyaistavaihi Vedai Sangha Padakramo Panishadai Gayanti Yam Samagha Dhyanavastita Tatgatina Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yoginaha Yasyantam Navidusura Suragana Devaya Tasmai Namaha Iti Gita Dhyanam. We will do chapter 9 of Gita. Om Shri Parama Krishna Paramatmane Namaha Rajavidya Rajaguhya Yogo Nama Navamodhyayaha. We have done up to verse number 14. We will chant from 13 and do a quick recap before going further. Ahatmanastu mam partha Daivi Prakritimashritah Bhajantananya Manasa Yatva Bhutadimabhyayam Satatam Kirtayanto Mam Yatantascha Dridavratah Namasyantascha Mam Bhaktya Nityayukta Ityayukta upasate. 14 and 15. The previous verses, the teacher talked about one who is not able to focus on Ishvara's Swarupa property. Such a person is referred to as a Muda. Muda is not some kind of imbecile or something. A Muda is someone whose priorities are not right. For him, he lives in Artha Kama Pradhana Jivanam. And such a person, driven by Raga Dvesha, living an Artha Kama Pradhana Jivanam, is referred to as an Asura. One who will compromise on values for fulfilling his Artha Kama goals. Like, long back, I remember seeing a Hindi movie in which there is a guy who is a proclaimed offender, and there is a reward on his head, a huge reward on his head. And this fellow, there are two guys, and he comes, meets these two fellows, and they recognize that this fellow is the absconder, and on whose head there is a huge reward. And so there are two guys. Then number two in the gang, he tells the number one, "Sir, let's call the police and hand him." Then the number one says in Hindi, "Arey, usul bhi to kuch hoti hai. Insaniyat bhi kuch hai." Number two, because he has surrendered to us, how can I give him up? So this number two says, "Sir, लाख 2 लाख हाथ लगने दो, फिर उसके बाद जिंदगी है पड़ी है शराफत दिखाने को." This is an Asura. He says, "First let me make my million or two." Those days, in the late 60s, early 70s, it was a lakh or two. Now today it is 100 lakhs, people are not happy. Even 100 lakhs is not enough. You need much more than. So some fellow says, "यार, 10-15 crore हाथ लगने दो, फिर जिंदगी पड़ी है शराफत दिखा. First let me get my Artha Kama fulfilled. Thereafter I'll be a good fellow." Asura. He is a Raga Pradhana Artha Kama pursuer. Who is a Rakshasa? Tvesha Pradhana Artha Kama follower. Artha Kama seeker. I know you don't call them seekers. Artha Kama, but he is Dvesha Pradhana, meaning if I can't get it, I won't let you have it. I won't let you. Because I can't get it, I won't let you. I will destroy it. So there are Asuras and Rakshasas. The teacher talks about the third type of person who is a Devi Prakriti Ashrita, a refined person, a person whose values are in place, an integrated person, Uttama Adhikari, and who is refined, whose values are in place. Very often people talk about what is the difference between honesty and integrity. Okay, honesty is you do the right thing when people are watching. Integrity is you do the right thing whether anybody is watching or not watching. Devim Sampatti, Devim Prakritim Ashrita. I don't compromise on certain things. This is my boundary, I live within that. Devim Prakritim Ashritaha. They are Mahatmas. Mam Partha. they are able to see me. And how are they? Ananya Manasa Yukta. The person has no other goal in life. Artha Kama is secondary. For him, Dharma Moksha is Pradhana. Here you are not, you can talk about Dharma. He says here, Upasana, Bhagavat Upasana is Pradhana. For me, Bhagavat Upasana is Pradhana. And the beauty is, Bhutadhi Avyayam. He is able to see Ishvara's presence everywhere. He is able to see Ishvara's presence. So, Para Prakriti, Apara Prakriti. Apara Prakriti is the Adrishya, invisible Chaitanyam. Apara Prakriti is Drishya Prapancha. I'm using, it's very easy to understand. Drishya Prapancha, the visible material universe. And how does the material universe project itself? How has it come? Panchabhutas have come and presented themselves, have manifested themselves as this Srishti. His mind is focused on that. So what happens to such a person? He is able to look at the Jagat in admiration. Wow. Now he doesn't have to go to see some great phenomenon too. You don't have to see those words that Aurora Borealis, northern lights and things like that to say, wow. He's able to see, wow. He lives in Ashcharya. Lives in admiration of Ishvara's Prakriti. And this admiration, seeing this unfoldment of Ishvara, he is able to live in a certain, awestruck admiration and reverential attitude towards Srishti, a Mahatma. So, you have a Asura, you have a Rakshasa, you have a Daiva. Perhaps at various points of time. They're not separate people, with canine teeth and horns and things. You have to look for such. But you look at the person. You look at person with these tendencies, Asura tendencies, and your Rakshasa tendencies. But just an incident, I saw it happen. Somebody has parked a car close to his car. It's very close to his car. You should have seen the boiling anger in his eyes. He rings the bell and says, how can you park the car like this? Anger boiling in his eyes. Dvesha. Then I looked at both the cars. His car is a smaller car. The other person's car is a slightly high-end. High-end car ko dekhkar jalan ho inside. He not only has a bigger car, he has parked it close to my car. I can't even take my car out. Why can't you take your car? Look at that, Asura tendency, Rakshasa tendency. And later on, at the end of the day, he will put the good. After 65, what matters is health and happiness alone. People should realize this, and he puts a clip there. So I didn't refer, I could have easily sent him a personal message. Was this a fellow who was willing to kill for that car space? I said, okay. ऐसे भी हैं. For them, it's purely intellectual. It is not gone down and touched the person at all. Perhaps he would give a very eloquent talk. It does not touch his heart. Asura are people who have all kinds of, their scholarship is brilliant. It does not touch them. Is as long as you are concerned, it's applicable to you, not to that kind. Okay. So let's look at verse number 14. Now, these Daivi Sampatti people, Daivi Prakriti people, how do they live? What is their lifestyle? If I am a Daivi Sampatti people, you want to check whether you are one Daivi Sampatti person, what would be your lifestyle? Yes. Satatam kirtayanto mam yatantascha dridavratah. His focus is clear. What's his focus? Dridavrata, Ishvara Prapti is my priority. Living a refined life is my priority. Dridavrata and Yatatamscha, he works for it. He works for refinement. How? Kirtayantaha, he cultivates and keeps such company. Who do you cultivate? And when you are in that group, what do you talk about? When you talk to them, when you are interacting with such people, do your eyes, do your body language, does your body language exude happiness? Does it exude a certain joy of meeting people? Does it show your inner joy? Does it show your inner contentment? Or constantly from that's not. So, that tendency. You are not okay, I am not okay. One type of. I think there was a subject, transactional analysis. We had a big hit a few, 30, 40 years ago. 40 years ago. You are not okay, I am not. I am okay, but you are not okay. In one fourth character, I am not okay, but you are okay. Fourth, I am okay, you are okay. All types of characters. So, it's a refined person, satatam. Okay. Mom, then comes namasyantascha mam bhaktya nitya yukta upasate. So his dridavrata yatna is not sporadic. It is nitya yukta. It is a constant effort to be a refined person. To be a refined person, to live within boundaries is not a joke. So he is constantly in an effort to live that life. Namasyastancha mam bhaktya. With bhakti, he does upasana to me. Something very important here. See, for you to achieve anything in life, you need two things. You need Ishvara Anugraha and you need Jiva Prayatna. Effort plus grace. Effort alone makes it a race. Effort plus Anugraha makes it grace. Effort alone makes it a race, a rat race. At the end of it, you still remain a rat. Effort plus Ishvara Anugraha makes it great. Makes it grace. Therefore, a person who lives only on Ishvara, if Ishvara Anugraha is there, it should happen to me. Fatalistic person. If Ishvara Anugraha is there, I will get. I say, why don't you join Satsang? He'll say, sir, if Ishvara Anugraha is there, I will join. Lazy fellow doesn't want to join. If Ishvara Anugraha is there, bluff bolne ki baat. Ishvara Anugraha. Another fellow says, I don't need Ishvara Anugraha. All my effort, arrogance. So for one to be a refined person, you need Ishvara Anugraha, Jiva Prayatna. To have, see the person, the Asura, the Rakshasa are called Prakrita Purusha. Prakrita Purusha means unrefined people. This person, this Mahatma, is a Sanskrita Purusha, a refined person. For refining oneself, you need Ishvara Anugraha and Jiva Prayatna. That is what is being driven for. Let's look at verse number 15. ज्ञान यज्ञेन चाप्यन्ये ज्ञान यज्ञेन चाप्यन्ये यजन्तो मामुपासते यजन्तो मामुपासते ज्ञान यज्ञेन चाप्यन्ये यजन्तो मामुपासते एकत्वेन पृथक्त्वेन बहुधा विश्वतो मुखम् एकत्वेन पृथक्त्वेन बहुधा विश्वतो मुखम् whole verse ज्ञान यज्ञेन चाप्यन्ये यजन्तो मामुपासते एकत्वेन पृथक्त्वेन बहुधा विश्वतो मुखम् once more ज्ञान यज्ञेन चाप्यन्ये यजन्तो मामुपासते एकत्वेन पृथक्त्वेन बहुधा विश्वतो मुखम् माम me. How do you do upasana to me? Krishna says, how do you do upasana? Remember, puja, japa, tirtha yatra, upavasa, lok seva, paropakara, everything comes under karma yoga. Ishvara upasana is manasa vyapara. This has to be clear. I do Ishvara upasana. What you do every morning, I do puja. That is not upasana. That is karma puja. Upasana is jnanasa vyapara. Remember that. You are eyes closed or open, whether in a meditative pose or a non-meditative pose. Thought processes yukta on Ishvara. That is upasana. Don't mistake upasana for anything. This place, if you check every day, check at the end of the day or check at various points during the course of the day, watch what is the thought process. Number of pointless thoughts. Suppose there are, I'm not saying you are not having productive thoughts, but a lot of pointless thoughts are also. Self-judgmental thoughts, thoughts judging others, heat from inside, mental cursing. So, this thought process is deliberately converted into Ishvara thought process. Apart from the productive time and other time that you involve, whenever the mind goes wool gathering, it comes to Ishvara thought process. It doesn't mean you should not have entertainment or anything like that. But let it not be an entertainment dominated life. There are people who want to live for eternity who don't know what to do on a Sunday after. You ask them 11 o'clock, no TV, nothing. Today they say, how do I spend my time? There are so many people fascinated with World Cup. Let's see what happens after the final. They'll have nothing. Look at highlights. So, Manasa Vyapara, Upasana, time set aside deliberately for Ishvara Chintan. Okay? Now, Yajantaha, they say here pujan karne wale. Pujan doesn't mean offering flowers and mental puja. Okay. Now, there are 3 levels of puja, of upasana. Let's not do puja. Upasana. The first puja or first upasana is called Eka Rupa Saguna Ishvara Upasana. Eka Rupa Saguna Ishvara Upasana. Eka Rupa, one form alone. What is that one form? Krishna, Mahavishnu, Sadashiva, Subramanya, Devi, Vinayaka, Hanuman. Hey, when it comes to availability of Ekarupa Ishvara, I have a department store and more in our Vedic culture. You can create more if you do. Sometime in Chennai, somebody said, we want a combination of Ganapati and Hanuman. So they created a temple, Adhyanta Prabhu. And somebody writes saying that historically it's available. Or in Puranas it's available. I don't know where it's available. But you have anybody, just about any form you can, it's available for you. You want to do puja, upasana of Surya Devata, Chandra Devata. Okay, it is available to you. Puja of natural elements, upasana of natural elements. You think of Surya Devata, oh Surya Devata, bless me. I seek you. Bless me. May I bless me with a glorious intellect. May I shine as bright as you do. Om Bhurtbhuvasvaha Tat Saviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Yeah? So you can invoke the natural. You want a mixture, half man, half animal, partly man, partly animal. It is called Ganapatyam. You have Ganapati, Hanuman, Hayagriva, what's that? Pratyankara Devi, Singhi. So many devatas. It is called Ganapatyam. Then you have Balyam. You want Ishvara, you want to invoke Ishvara in the form of a child. Yes. You have Navanita Krishna, crawling Krishna, Bala, growing youth. Anybody. Okay. You want a Devi Upasana, you have Devi Upasana. Mother's form. Okay, Nari. You want a fully grown man? Yes, you have Krishna, Rama. Okay. You also have the sixth form, Linga, the formless. The teacher appreciates that Linga, the formless, is very difficult to reach. It doesn't happen for everybody. Ekarupa Ishvara, you start. And with that Ekarupa Ishvara, enter into an emotional bond. Become primary role of that of a devotee. Every other role is built around the primary role. So that you play the role of a father. You're not father all the time. Okay. Devotee is all the time. So devotee, father. Devotee, brother. Devotee, office employee. Primary role. On the primary role is a devotee. On the primary role, build a changing variable role. Eka Rupa Ishvara. And that Eka Rupa Ishvara, you dhyan. See, visualize your Eka Rupa Saguna Ishvara. The number of shlokas. Shantakaram Bhujagasayanam Padmanabham Suresham. Let's go. Shantakaram. So peaceful. Jagasayanam. He is resting on the Bhujanga. Shantakaram Padmanabham. From his Nabhi. Nabhi Kamalam comes Brahma. Then what does he have? The Shanks. Yes. Vanamari Gadeshargi Shanki Chakri Chanandaki. He's got the Nandaki sword, Saranga, the bow, Shanka Panchajanya, Sudarshana Chakra. He's got the chest ornament called Kaustuba. He's called a Gada, called Kaumodiki. The same bow in the hands of Shiva changes name. It becomes Pinaki. Pinaka Hasta. So one who holds the Pinaka is Pinaki. Subramanya has a veil. Single spear. So, invoke Ishvara. Eka Rupa Ishvara. And Yajantaha, relate to that Ishvara. Relate. See, Ishvara should not be morning, evening, sporadic. I do and then go away. Relate to that Ishvara. That Ishvara be a companion. There are so many of us. Just about a week ago, I met a child, 6 years old or something. Her parents, I don't know whether it was concern or not. They're saying that this child has 3 friends, all imaginary friends. And if there's nobody, she talks to those friends and things like that. Well, I don't know. I didn't want to explore much more. But I thought, Ishvara can be that one person. Talk to Krishna. Okay, that's possible. So, Eka Rupa Ishvara, Upasate, Manasa Vyapara. I am going through difficulty, Ishvara, help me. I want to buy one more property. Hey, Muruga, I will come to this particular temple. Help me. I use Ishvara for what I want, for something Artha Kama. But I want to use. I want to use Ishvara. I want to do everything according to Ishvara's orders. Okay? Eka Rupa Ishvara. Then so this person is a pratak. This person is single. Okay. Now, there is one more Ekatvena. Now, there's one more person. Rather than one more person, there are few who are able to go beyond the Vishwa, the Eka Rupa Ishvara, and see the Vishwarupa Ishvara. Who is this Vishwarupa Ishvara? One who has eyes everywhere. One who has got heads everywhere. So when that happens, you see Ishvara with 4 heads, or a number of heads, a number of hands. So you have a Vishwarupa Ishvara. The whole Srishti is the body of Ishvara. The whole Srishti is the body of Ishvara. Srishti, some part of the entire Srishti is legs, some part is hands. His stomach has this, his head is adorned. He has risen from one level to the next level. Okay? Then, so he is able to see this from Eka Rupa, he has moved to Aneka Rupa Ishvara. Upasana. Now comes the third level. The third level is Arupa Atmarupa Ishvara Upasana. Arupa, there is no form. Takes a lot more growth. Atmarupa means don't focus on your body. The thought process should be the entire visible Jagat Drishya Prapancha is Ishvara's body, and the invisible is the Chaitanya Swarupa of Ishvara. Bring it down to my body. The visible body is Ishvara's material cause. I, the consciousness, and the Chaitanya Swarupam. Hard work. But if you do it like in the previous verse, Nityayukta Dridavrataha Jnanam becomes susukam. It becomes easily. It doesn't come overnight. But if you have practiced, I mean, I have not used the word practice it. If you have done upasana systematically, regularly, consistently for a length of time, this happens spontaneously. Okay, this is up to verse number 15. Now, Ishvara is revealing. He is revealing certain things about himself. Let's look at verse number 16. Aham kruturaham yajnaha. How to look at Vishwarupa Ishvara and how to look beyond that as Arupa Ishvara is getting. Aham krituraham yajnaha swadahamaham aushadham mantroham ahamevajyam aham agniraham hutam. He's taking the example of a fire ritual. Aham krituraham yajnaha swadahamaham aushadham mantrohamahame aham agniraham hutam. So you're doing a yajna. Let's do we are invoking the fire ritual. So there are various aspects. There's a homa kunda. There are ladles, special ladles. Round ones, okay, wooden ladles out of which you pour ajya, clarified ghee, melted ghee into the fire. You offer fire. I mean, the fire is to be lit in a particular manner. You're supposed to offer cooked rice. So many things are offered into the fire. Now, how to look at the whole thing as a Vishwarupa? You are doing the ritual. Just as you do the fire ritual and you get fine-tuned to looking at the fire ritual as a total Ishvara Upasana, the teacher is giving you an example. He's saying, Kratuhu aham. The karma is me. Please understand. Meaning, the karma is to be done according to a certain order of the Ishvara. There is a process of doing. You can't do anything like that. There is a way. You have to first invoke the Agni, then invoke before invoking the Agni, you have to have it in a particular shape. Okay, the fuel should be of some particular material. Then the Agni itself is invoked in. You just don't light a a matchstick in that. Sorry. There are some places where they do, that churning of two sticks. It's churned for a long time and then the smoke comes out. Some people use magnifying glass to invoke. So, I am that karma. It is not just a routine karma. I am a fire ritual. The yajna is done for a certain purpose. I am that purpose-oriented yajna, meaning that also has a process. The process is Ishvara's order. Okay? Then, I am Swadha. So, when you are offering certain things to Pitris, that is done. That also I am. So then, I am Aushadham. Aushadham means, whatever, what do you call, herbs, etc. it is being offered. That also I am. Meaning they all come out of my apara prakriti. Then, the mantra is me. Meaning, it is not, see, somebody once asked, why can't I chant mantra in this language? Why can't I chant mantra in this language? Okay. So people who are working in this coding and programming business, there is a particular syntax, there is a particular coding language. You can't use any language. You can't just about use anything. Even if you are using a voice, activated thing. You first have to get your accent. Very often it comes, when you see those movies, etc. Some of these, when I chant or when I say something in English, that's, that CC comes. Sometimes if the word is not properly understood, it comes out as something else. So the mantra is a specific way of doing ucharan. That also I am. I am Ajam. I am that ghee that you offer, clarified. I am that Agni. Okay. And the entire Hutam, the entire total Kriya, I am. Please understand. So, meaning, you can take a ritual and the ritual can be extended to include Ishvara Swarupa. Let's take a simple activity of eating. You have food? That's something we don't miss. Okay. So before doing that, can you chant this? Brahmarpanam Brahma Havihi Brahmagnau Brahmanahutam Brahmaivate Gantavyam Brahma Karma Samadhina. So this body is Ishvara's apara prakriti. I am doing an offering. What is that? Brahma Arpanam, to that Brahma Swarupa, to the Chaitanya Swarupa, to keep the system alive. Brahma Arpanam, Brahma Arpanam, Brahma Havihi, the food, me. The digestive system in me, Brahmagnav, is Ishvara. Brahmaivatena Gantavyam, Brahma Karma Samadhina. May the whole thing, when you are praying for nourishment, it is not an individual ahankara nourishment, it is mentally relating to the truth. So this verse, the previous one is meant for that. Let's read 17 and then look at the meaning in more detail. The following text. Okay? Pita hamasya jagataha Mata dhata pitamaha Vedyam pavitram omkara Riksama yajurevacha. Everything in Srishti has come from Ishvara alone. That is the Vedic Parampara Drishti. I am Jagata Pita. I am the father of the Jagat. Okay, Pitahamasya. What about the mother? Mata I am. That's why you see Ardhanarishwara, half Mata, half Pita. That is not that the meaning, just as the word and the meaning cannot be separated, just as the Apara Prakriti and Prara Prakriti cannot be separated, Mata Pita cannot be separated. Aham Mata, Aham Pita. What about grandfather? Pitahamasya. I am also the grandfather. Okay, just to switch up. There are some people who will always ask, will always have a question, which may not be that. I am father, I am mother. Sir, what about grandfathers? Just and then listening to him, a few fellows will laugh. Always there, no? So, sir, what about grandfathers? What about father-in-law, sir? Some people will laugh. Some people like that. They also have gesturing like. So I am Pitamaham. I am the ultimate giver. Dhata. Okay, I am not only the ultimate giver, I am also the protector. Dhata, not just Dhata. I am the Dhata, the protector. So Mata, Pita, Pitaham, Pitamaha, Dhata, all of them I am. Meaning, all the meaningful relationships you are able to, all the not meaningful, visible relationships that you are able to enter into are my or all in my order alone. Now let's go a little. Vedhyam aham. Okay. Vedhyam, that which is worth knowing is me. We are looking at the glory of Vishwarupa. If there is anything worth knowing, it is that. I am that. It functions, it is my manifestation. Worth knowing. Vedyam aham. Okay? And pavitram. So he has to drive home the point, Vedyam, and that which refines you. If there is something worth knowing and that which refines you, it is me. Understand that. Then comes a very beautiful word here, Omkara. I'll briefly dwell on it today because Omkara needs a lot of explanation, which I will elaborately tell you next. There are 4 Vedas. Here they have highlighted 3 Vedas: Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sama Veda. Rig Veda is in metrical form. Okay. Yajur Veda is in prose form. Sama Veda is in musical form. Atharva Veda has come from a rishi called Atharva, so it is called Atharva Veda. Nothing inferior about it. So the Vedas, from the Veda mantras, all the Veda mantras, they have extracted 3 powerful words. Just 3 powerful words. The essence of the Vedas, all the Vedas put together, have been extracted into 3 words. They are Bhu, Bhuva, Swaha. Earth, heaven, and Ishvara. They stand for all 3. Bhu, Bhuva, Swaha. And from these 3 words, they have extracted 3 letters. A, U, A, when you open the mouth, comes A. U is a central sound. Ends. A, U, Ma, comes and forms Om. Omkara. The Kara prefix is used to complete the word Omkara. There are a lot of people who chant Aum, Aum, and then when you do it, you have to even move your head. I don't know who taught that, but it is a wrong chant. Because simple Sanskrit grammar, there is something called Sandhi rule. A, U is Om, not Au. A plus U is O. It is not Au, so it cannot be Aum. A plus U plus is Om. He says, I am that Pavitram Omkara, which purifies everything. That's why when we say Om Ganeshaya Namaha, Om Lambodara, every word you say Om, then mantra. Om Stuti. Om Stuti. At some point of time, your mind dwells on the meaning of Om. When you say dwells on the meaning of Om, you have a relevant scriptural extract. Aham dwell on the meaning. Aham Chaitanya Swarupam. Aham Ananda Swarupam. So you dwell. Then you sometimes dwell on. See, sometimes when you are emotionally being thrown about, Aham Brahmasmi won't help. Try. Imagine there's an interview tomorrow and you do Aham Brahmasmi chanting. You will go mad. At that time, go to Eka Rupa Ishvara and say, Ishvara, see that I don't fail. Okay, so you have to do appropriate. Similarly, the Upasana also has to be done appropriate. So Aham, I will dwell more about Omkara in the coming weeks. So Aham, that Omkara, I am the 4 Vedas. Rik, Sama, Yajurevacha, meaning everything everything in Srishti comes from Ishvara alone. There is nothing apart from Ishvara. There is nothing worth seeking other than Ishvara. Having discovered value for seeking Ishvara, everything else is secondary, anatma, insignificant. So he leads you to this class. The coming weeks will explore. Some brief announcements, like I said, from next week. Whoever wants at the beginning, please indicate in the chat box. I will throw your microphone open, you can chant. And we'll also devote the last 10 minutes for some questions that you may want to ask. So before you ask the question, write it down. Because otherwise you will do a lot of talk. The question won't. So write it down and put the question in the chat box so that others can hear. Because when you start writing, a lot of things will start getting clarified. Okay, that apart, you can also privately talk to me and ask for resolution of whatever doubts. We don't have a doubt on anything. We will ask a question, how do I understand it better? Because once you have Shraddha, we don't have. So we'll do that and chanting. So let's have fun. Swasti prajabhya paripalayantam nyayena margena mahim mahisha gobrahmanebhya shubhamastu nityam loka samasta sukhino bhavantu kale varshatu parjanyah prithvi sasya shalinim desho yam shobharahitah brahmana santu nirbhaya sarve bhavantu sukhinah sarve santu niramaya sarve bhadrani pashyantu ma kaschit dukkha bhag bhavet asato ma satgamaya तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतंगमय ओम पूर्णमद पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ओम शांति 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 श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय स्वामी दयानंद महाराज की जय सब संतों की जय पवन पुत्र हनुमान की जय बजरंग बली की जय Small announcement. Today, 3rd of November, from our next session, from the 10th of November, we will be shifting this class to a Monday evening session. See, hitherto, for a very long time, right from, I don't know for how long, this session was a Monday afternoon, not 5:30, 6:30 session, 5:30, 6:30 p.m. session. But in between, we had one Rakshasa virus, which drove us all indoors. And for a long time, we had even shut this down. And when we resumed it on Fridays because it was convenient for one group of people. But then the people who have all been attending on Fridays have shifted to online. There are some people who would like to attend on Mondays. They would come to the session face to face in my residence in Chennai, where I live. So people who stay in Chennai and would like to come to my residence, you can sit across and they can have a face to face. As a person who unfolds certain things, when I look into your eyes, I know whether what I've explained goes home properly. So our next session will be on Monday, the 13th November, and from there on, it will be on Mondays. Same time, we will have an online platform. We will also have a live offline platform. People are welcome, and we will explain, and we'll continue the study as long as there is Ishvara Anugraha and Jai.